So I'm Andrew Hunter. I'm originally from Australia, but I've been living and working in Thailand now for 8 years with the Asia Pacific Network of Sex Workers. I was involved in starting an organisation in Australia in 1987, the Prostitutes Collective in Melbourne, and when I was 17, I'd sort of run away from home. Although 17 is very late to be a runaway. I think you have to be younger now. So anyway, I left home and I was working on the streets occasionally in Melbourne because I was trying to live on an under 18-year-old income support, which was very low. And luckily one night I got rescued by the women who were starting the Prostitutes Collective rather than being rescued by the Christian sisters. And I got involved in setting up a male sex workers project there, and we also set up the first community-run needle exchange in Australia as well. So then I did that for a few years and was involved with setting up the National Sex Workers Network in Australia, and that group and Empower Foundation from Thailand and the Pink Triangle Foundation from Malaysia formed the Asia Pacific Network.
Andrew, probably in about 20 years until just the other night, and he surprised me when he said, you know, Julie, when I first met you in Melbourne, I was 19 years old. And I really was quite blown away by that because he's always had such a mature kind of demeanour, and has been a person that's been absolutely concerned with everything, every footprint he puts on this planet is about making a difference for others. And I love and respect him for that, and particularly love and respect the work that he's done for the last 10 years or more with sex workers in Southeast Asia. That he concerns himself with their human rights in every breath he takes on every day.
I mean, God, they're taking, you know, any money that could be going to education is going to their research while people are still seroconverting and dying. There are people who work with prostitutes from prostitutes' rights groups who have run education programs very similar to the one in Mexico and about 3 years before. And, you know, we put papers in.
So sex workers are gathering in Kolkata, India because we're not allowed into the United States for the AIDS conference. One of the key things in India is that India produces most of the world's generic ARV medicines, the medicines that keep you alive. And sex workers have formed part of a largely Asian movement to keep those drugs coming to the rest of the world. What we need is for the positive movements globally to show solidarity with sex workers in return for what we're doing to keep the generic drug pipeline open for positive people the world over.
Shouldn't be like this. This was unexpected. What do I do now? Could we start again, please? I've been very hopeful so far. Now for the first time, I think we're going wrong. Hurry up and tell me this is just a dream, or could we start again, please?
Okay, there's a common assumption that laws against trafficking must be good because they must protect the most vulnerable people. The experience of sex workers across Asia and across the world is that trafficking laws actually make things worse, not just for them, but for those people who actually are trafficked. People who really are trafficked don't need the extra violence of a police raid, beating and rape. So one of the fundamental things we ask, not just on behalf of sex workers, but on behalf of all workers who may be trafficked into some unwanted situation, is that their labour rights be respected, that other laws that go against slavery and other bad practices go ahead of these anti-trafficking laws. We don't need specific laws for some category of trafficked people. Labour rights for sex workers will bring about a situation that is better for all of them.
deny sex workers condoms and that deny sex workers STI treatment and vital life-saving ART treatment. That's our simple thing. All we want to do is get those thousands and thousands and thousands of positive sex workers who are denied treatment in PEPFAR countries onto treatment now. It's a reasonable demand. It's a demand that is supported by the epidemiology of the epidemic in Asia and Africa and Latin America. If you do not provide prevention services to sex workers, you cannot halt the HIV epidemic. Every other dollar is wasted. This is proven. This is a proven fact, and it is being ignored by all the funders. That's our message. If you want to stop HIV, you need to engage with and work with sex workers in prevention services and treatment services.
I've been living to see you, dying to see you, but it shouldn't be like this. This was unexpected. What do I do now? Could we start again, please? Could we start again, please? I think you've made your point now. You've even gone a bit too far to get the message home. Before it gets too frightening, we ought to call a halt.